Let me first of all welcome you to what we believe is the start of the recall revolution. This is a proposal which we believe will actually be a real deterrent for the type of activity that Brian has been talking about, the corruption we've seen not only recently over the past couple weeks, over the past months, but over the many years. And the good news about this proposal is it empowers the most important part of this representative democracy, the taxpayers, the voters of New York State. I had a wonderful mother, loved her very much. But when I was a kid, I got in a little bit of trouble. She wasn't always happy with what I did. I'll never forget one day, I loved basketball. And what I would do when it would rain outside is I'd bring my basketball in the house and I'd pound the thing and it would reverberate through the whole house. She hated that. "Stop that, Jimmy." And I'd have to stop that. Well, when I had nothing else to do, I used to practice jumping. First of all, I try to put my fingertips on the ceiling. Then I try to press my palms to the ceiling. Then I try to get make a long story short, my father had to get up there on a ladder and clean the ceiling a lot. One day I was doing that, and my mom came into the living room and said, "Jimmy, I brought you into this world, and I can take you out of it if I want to." And she was serious about that, and I realized I was doing the wrong thing. Well, today what we're saying is that the voters of New York State bring us into this world. What we want to do today is enhance their ability to take us out of it. When they feel we've been derelict in our duties, when they feel we haven't lived up to our obligation, to the oath we took, to really represent them fully. Now, what will this do if it eventually gets passed by two successive legislative bodies and is voted on and put into place? First of all, I think it sends a message. It says we believe and we trust the people who actually put us here. We trust the voters of New York State, that most important part of this representative government. We trust you to do the right thing. We trust you to be partners with us in policing the activities of all of us, governors, attorney generals, comptrollers, senators, and assembly people. We want to be a partner with you in this recall revolution. We want to put this new power in your hands to do that evaluation and make that decision. Now, 19 other states in this union have recall and have utilized recall. If there was ever a state, as we see the activity being taken place, it seems week after week after week. Another story, another elected official. If there was ever a state that needed recall and should be number 20, I think we believe, the colleagues and myself and the leader, with this recall legislation, New York State should be that 20th state. Now, what will it accomplish? It will show them we trust them. Secondly, it will actually give them the power to make that decision. Look, I voted for you, I put you there, but you failed me. I'm going to go out and get the signatures. I'm not going to wait like we did with Pedro Espada till you get to the election year, and then he lost in the primary. Why should they have to wait? They figured out what's going on here. They're our bosses. We work for them. So I think it shows some faith that we have in them, which we need, that renewed understanding that we believe in them, because it sure looks like from the polling right now they're not believing in us that much. Secondary, it really allows them to remove an elected official, puts that power in their hands. But here's the deterrent. Every single one of us as elected officials now, we're pretty cognizant of all those organizations in those investigative units which the governor and the leaders have appointed members to. Appointed members which in many instances have donated to their campaigns, seem to have more allegiance to the people who appointed them than allegiance to the cause of ethics. They don't have to think about people walking around with wires on their body, or the FBI or the courts. They have to worry about, in their mind, the voters that put them here. They're going to know in their mind, my electorate can take me out if they choose to, if I don't live up to the obligation I promised to them. And lastly, they know the reality is that they can be removed by not a court, by not an investigation, by not an ethics committee, but by the very people who put them in office. I think that's an important message. That's something to think about when it gets in place.